Hi everybody, and I wanted to record a special video looking at the presidential timeline assignment. It's a very important assignment. It's one students, have typically had some confusion on in the past, so I really want to make sure I was clear with you on how to do this. The assignment's posted on, our website, so you can look at it there, but I want to give you a video sort of showing how I would do one. You can search for articles. I showed you how on the assignment sheet, but what I did for this demo is just pulled up CNN, looked at their website right now to see what's going on. And one of the big stories is obviously Trump. I give our Puerto Rico response a 10. Trump sort of showing that he had a lot to do with Puerto Rico response. Things are going well after the natural disaster, after the hurricane. So I'm going to click on that. I'll just pick a story. I don't like videos and don't use videos for this assignment because I don't want to reward news companies that do videos instead of text, but we'll click on this story right here where the nightmare never ends. CNN's going to load very slowly because it's CNN and fake news and all that good stuff. But here we go. And there's a story about Hurricane Maria toppled the bridge that connects Ramon Sostre to the rest of the island of Puerto Rico. There's damage. 1 million American citizens have suffered. A month later, things are problems. The U.S. government says committing to help Puerto Rico, but confronts challenging circumstances. FEMA, Donald Trump talked about all these problems. So, okay. I think this article can affect Donald Trump's popularity, what people think of him. Why is that? Well, because presidents, we judge them on how well they deal with crises like this, natural disasters. So I'm going to go over to JSTOR. I've got my article. I'm going to go over to JSTOR, and I'm going to find some articles about this. Okay, so I went to the library website, logged in, did all that stuff, logged into JSTOR, just like you did for the last paper. Now I'm going to type in the search box here, presidential approval, natural disasters. Searching, and here we go. Couple articles right here. Yeah, I don't care about that. What influences odds of approval? Presidential disaster declarations. Unilateral powers, electoral incentives, presidential disaster declarations. Partisan polarization attribution in a federal system, the case of Hurricane Katrina. Anything else good? Some about the politics of pets in the White House. That's interesting, but not related to this. Okay, so I've got a few articles. We're going to look at this article real quick. This is from Neil Malhotra. He's a smart guy. We'll see what he has to say about the topic. Multiple government agencies, overlapping level. Who do we blame? Partisans do not polarize. So we can look in here, see if there's anything to do with the presidency. I'm going to do that off camera, let you know, and if not, we'll look at something else. Okay, and I'm back. You all probably can't read this. It's going to get compressed for YouTube. But on page 655 here, there's a nice table. And it shows who should be most responsible for responding to national disasters. Republicans say federal authorities 25%, but Democrats say 52.6%. So there's some differences there. So that's interesting, and that's something we can talk about. So I'm going to hop on over to Microsoft Word. I'm going to type up my first paragraph. I've got myself a citation. Okay? So, here we go. We start our first paragraph. Number 1, on October 17th, 2017, CNN had an article talking about the disaster in Puerto Rico and looking at FEMA's response. There were billions of dollars of damages, and people were looking to the government, and specifically Donald Trump, to fix it. Okay, so I wrote, 2 sentences there talking about what's going to happen, what the article said, a little bit about why we think President Trump is involved. So now we're going to talk about the peer-reviewed sources. I believe this will affect President Trump's approval negatively among Democrats because they are looking to the federal government to help during natural disasters, and news coverage of the efforts have shown a lack of success so far. Okay, so the article told me Democrats look to the federal government for fixing things. They're not really fixing it that well. Therefore, I think Democrats in this case will affect Donald, will basically look at Donald Trump as worse. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to get the citation back, and then we're going to find a second one. So, okay, back on JSTOR. The site is Malhotra 2008. I'm going to add this to my Works Cited page, so I'll click Cite this item. I'm going to do it in APA style. I'm going to copy that. Back over to Word. Malhotra 208. And then my hypothetical Works Cited page. Put that in the same format. Life is good. So, now time to find a second one. Okay, so I looked at a couple articles, and I'm back with what I found. Right here, this journal article, Political Disaster, Unilateral Powers, Electoral Incentives, and Presidential Disaster Declarations. Andrew Reeves, Journal of Politics. It's a political science journal. It checks out. Life is good. And I read through the article, and what it shows is that presidents can expect a 1-point bump in the state where the disaster happened when they declare a state of emergency or a state of disaster. So that's good. Go back into Word. Right here on the other side, President Trump's approval will likely improve among citizens of Puerto Rico because presidents tend to get a 1-point approval bump in states where disasters are declared. And that was Reeves 2012, I believe. Okay. I'm at 115 words here. I need to get to 35 more words. So, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to explain the event a little bit more. I'm going to talk about the hurricane. I'm going to talk about things that happened. Let me go back to the article real quick, see if I can read a little more, learn something, and life will be good. Okay, so we're back in the article here, and it talks about how President Donald Trump talked about Hurricane Maria more distant than these other two recent storms that hit the U.S. mainland, Harvey and Irma. After traveling the island for 3 days, however, and conducting interviews with residents and federal officials and experts, clear the level of suffering is outpacing relief. So, we can write a little bit about that to fill up the 150 words. So we talk about here the response in Puerto Rico has been slow so far. The article talks about how the isolated nature of Puerto Rico and difficulty in navigating narrow roads and coordinating, spelled coordinating wrong, relief from the mainland has been challenging, leading experts to say that the efforts have been disappointing. Okay, so we look real quick. Highlight it, 161 out of 186 words. Life is good. We're going to go ahead and cite the other article real quick. Grab a citation from JSTOR. Look at that. It's got all sorts of proper formatting. Life is good. Open up Word. We're going to alphabetize it. make sure the formatting matches everything else, and we're done. Just banged out one of these fairly quickly. A note to you all. This took me, 10 to 15 minutes to do. I've got about 10 minutes of video going right here. I can do these quickly because I've done this more than 1,000 times for my research. I've helped students through it. I know what to look for. This will generally take you longer, so please, 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 please take my advice. Start this early. But this right here is exactly what I'm looking for. I will post the document online along with this video, so hopefully that will help you. But this is the general idea. So thank you all. I will see you in class. Please work on the assignment. Do well. You'll do 10 of these overall. Take the time. Do it right. Feel free to send me any questions you have. Thanks, and have a good one.